Hello my friends, my name is Chico Lopez. Welcome to our channel. I'm a dog breeder, American Pitbull Terrier dog breeder by the way. And I'd like you to come here to the channel. It's called Pitbull University. We're going to have a lot of videos here that you are probably going to like and you're able to learn a lot about the breed. There's a lot of things that people do not know about the real American Pitbull Terrier. Now, there's a lot of videos in the channel, but today we find ourselves in a position where we haven't made videos in about 2 weeks. And you know, it was kind of like we got really busy, my wife and I. By the way, she's right here.
Hello.
Basically, the way this video is going to be made, we're going to have a conversation with my wife, and we're going to talk a little bit about this situation. We didn't make videos in 2 weeks. We were very, very busy programming some of the breedings that were coming along. We're making actually, we just bred, today we're breeding Jordana, am I correct? And we're breeding Copper Day 2. All right, so we'll talk about those in a different video and about those exciting breedings and puppies that are coming.
By the way, you can go to our website, thereealpitbull.com, and see the update list of our new breedings.
She made the list, so you probably like the way she writes better than I write. Now, let me get a sip of coffee here. I want to tell you a little bit. There's different topics, and we thought about the topics as people send us questions all the time. What should we talk about? You know, this is a Pitbull channel, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, you know, I want to see some dogs. We do have videos that have dogs, but we believe that information in the breed, in the character of the breed, and the things that need to be made in the breed are more important, far more important than seeing a dog hanging. If you want to see my dogs and their structure and how they look, I invite you to go to my Instagram account. It's called, like Instagram goes, at Real Chico Lopez. You'll see a lot of pictures in there, celebrities, etc., blah, blah, blah. Now, you can also see on the videos in this gallery at the Pitbull University, you can see more, you can see some videos of dogs and stuff like that we put from time to time. One of the reasons we created this channel, and I want to get to this point, one of the reasons why we created this channel and why the channel is called Pitbull University is that the information that is in regards to the breed is really, really bad information. And I tell you something, it was really bad information when I started the dogs in 1993. The information was already really, really bad. I mean, the information was so bad. I tell you a little story. I wanted to have an American Pitbull Terrier, and by 1993, my idea of the American Pitbull Terrier was a mean dog, and it was a dog that bite people, and it was a very dangerous dog. The whole idea of the dog coming from a dog fighting background was twisted, and it's a little bit funny to say it. The process, if you don't understand the process of what fighting did to the dog, because the dog was not a pit bull that then went into a fighting arena or battle arena. It was a dog that was created to be the most powerful dog in combat. And it was not, you might not understand it now in the 2020s, because the type of men that create these dogs are much different than the men on the 2020. Their values, their society itself is different. The men on the 1800s were very, very tough men. And what was available to you in the world was very different.
But I have a detail thing. One of the toughest men in the world, they are calm in certain parts, but if you provoke them, they react in a
very powerful way. Yes,
they are protecting himself like the Gracie family guys are.
Absolutely. You know, you mentioned the Gracies. Royce Gracie actually has one of our dogs. Her name is, they call it Kali. The racer name is, the name that we register is Awesome Gracie. Now, in United States, on the internet, they have this series now on the internet, the created in the United States, is called The Men That Built America. And it was so amazing for me to see the development of these very successful entrepreneurs like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and all these other men that develop America. You know, I was looking at the Edison series as well. And when you look at Edison and Tesla and all these people that were in New York, while America was being developed, industrialized, and so on and so forth. Henry Ford, the original Henry Ford, his sons, his everything. Even when you go to Italy and you see Enzo, the guy from Ferrari, all these different men have something in common. Number one, they're very tough, just like you said. And number two, they're very smart, very ambitious, and they help other people. This type of man, the American Pit Bull Terrier, was birthed during those times. So when I look at the guys today, even some of the ones that contact me on Instagram and want to get, these men are very different.
Just like you said, this channel here is all about the culture, because the culture comes first.
The culture
right?
comes first.
Because it was the culture of the right man that created the standard of the real
You gotta have a culture to create a dog. You understand? You gotta have a culture. A certain group of humans that create that type of dog. And so the men wanted to have something that represent them themselves as being tough. I'm gonna give you a little knowledge when it comes to information in the breed. Sullivan, which was the first heavyweight to be recorded in history, boxer recorded in history, is in some pictures of some dog battles back in the early 1900s. And he was a big aficionado of the breed on that end, because on that end, the breed was straight combat dogs. And you look at Jack Johnson, also heavyweight, loved the American Pit Bull Terrier. And the truth is that there is a connection between the man and the dog, the man and the animal. That's why today you see these men flying, or people flying on airlines with a dog. And it's to me so funny, because I see some tough guys with a poodle, and this poodle is exactly what gives them that emotional support. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if these guys would be able to hack it back in the 1900s, because the men had to be real tough, real strong. By definition, the real American Pit Bull Terrier, it'll be a reflection of an era where very strong, very driven men came from. By definition, these dogs are not for everybody.
The same with the dogs. I was looking the other day, some guys posting pictures on the internet talking about exactly what we are talking about right now. The difference between the men from today. The men we're talking about society, not men and women. We're talking about society.
When we say men, we've been talking about society.
Yeah. And then about the dogs too. Remember the dogs that participate in wars and in battles and very, very stressful situations. And today we have people that say, oh, we cannot have these fireflies, how do you say this?
Firecrackers.
Firecrackers, because the dogs are going to be these, the dogs are going to be scary. No. Look, remember how we have the detonations on the mines, and the dogs are okay.
The dogs wouldn't care. Let me just explain to you guys. We live in a mining set, so we use explosives in the company.
Dynamite.
No, they're not dynamite.
No.
That's not how it's called. They actually, I don't even know how to call them in English, but we use a different product, okay? It's like a cream, like a paste. And so this in the job site, that's how we work. And these explosions, when we're going to do explosion, we leave the area and we come actually near the dogs. And we hear them, and the dogs don't even blink to these noises. And when we have the dogs, when we travel with the dogs and we hear all kinds of different noises from either it's Christmas or when we're in America on the 4th of July, we went with awesome May Day. I remember we went to Omaha, Nebraska to see Terrence Crawford, and we took pictures. We took him a puppy, and he wouldn't care about the explosion of firecrackers. The dogs are so mentally balanced, it's unbelievable. So when you look at these animals are very strong, and they have the ability to influence you and make you very strong. That's why these dogs are not, the people, when it comes to emotional support, you want to get the strongest emotional support and emotional enhancement, you're going to get it from one of these dogs.
I didn't told you this. We're going to.
I'm afraid every time you say I didn't tell you, and you say it on the camera. I'm afraid of that.
No, let me say. Today, we wake up very early all mornings, right? So today, Chico, he wake up and say, let's go and let's prepare the coffee. And then I say, oh my God, I don't want to go. And then I remember, I want to work Awesome, maybe. And those was my motivation.
That was your motivation today, to get up and walk that dog. You know,
This helped me to be on my task. And I just remember that you said that those dogs, they inspire us, inspire me to wake up in the morning to walk. I also talking about our friend in California, that she told me, Thais, I already lost 80 pounds. 80 pounds.
80
on
pounds walking dogs and stuff like that. She goes to the gym a little bit though.
Yeah.
She's going to the gym and walking the dogs.
Yeah.
She's doing both. But the motivation came from walking the dogs. Of course, you got to start walking before you start running. But so going back into the topic about the dogs, and I got a message from a guy today, and that's kind of like got me thinking. You know, the guy tagged me on Instagram, and I guess he did it in a good way, but you know, he tagged me to a dog, a very weak dog, a blue dog, a dog that, you know, is disgrace to the real American Pitbull Terrier.
Does not represent.
It doesn't represent. It's like, you know, it's like, it's the you have something beautiful and you destroy it to try to make it into something weaker. And this
Fashion, the fashion
yeah,
of the
fashion
moment.
type of dog. And then you have this weak breed of men of today. And it's so sad because I feel bad about it, because they were created by guys like me, the millennials, you know, and they celebrate, oh, look at this dog, you know, paint the nails and stuff like that. To me, it drives me crazy, you know, when I see these weak people with weak dogs and stuff
But
like
maybe sometimes, just like you in the beginning, they misunderstood what the real pit bull is, and
that. They have no
those
idea.
dogs-
They don't know the dog. They don't know the. When I got into the dog, let me explain to you, and I said that probably in different videos. When I got to the Bronx, New York, all ladies were walking pit bulls, but the pit bulls that they were walking, these ladies look a lot better than the pit bulls that guys are working today in the streets. I mean, you know, for 27 years, I've been away from dealing with people with dogs, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so now people are finding the double X's, triple X's, and all these, and they're like, oh my God, I'm glad that you're still around, that you got these dogs, because the dogs, the breed got destroyed. The breed really got destroyed, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Some guy the other day told me, he said, Chico, how come you're not that popular? You have the greatest dogs in the world.
And some people don't know you.
And some people don't know you. That's what he wanted to say. Some people don't know you. I said, listen, for 27 years, I've been working with my dogs. I've been developing these dogs. I've been like a mad scientist inside a lab, developing and creating
No,
and
for
selecting.
27, for about 20, 22, right?
20, 22, 23 years developing these dogs and creating these beautiful dogs. And because I know how everybody else destroy every single bloodline, destroy the breed and everything else, that's why today I don't sell to breeders. I can't sell to a breeder, because breeders, you know, be doing the same thing they already done before. If you always do what you always done, you can expect different results. If I do what everybody else did in the past, they'll get the same results.
Their mentality are corrupted, because
Their mentality is completely corrupted.
It's like you said, Thais, today people have mentors that the mentors are already destroyed. And then those guys, they have like followers that having the same blueprint they have been doing.
Absolutely.
Buy two dogs from the breeder, and then they start making those dogs having sex, and then they sell those dogs only for the purpose of making money. To develop
the word kennel, for instance. You know, I remember back in 1993 actually, when I got into the dogs. The first thing people told me is, what's going to be your kennel name? I had a street dog, and I needed to have a kennel name. Then when I went in 2005, 2006, when I started talking to the people in Brazil, everybody had a kennel name. They didn't even know how to write the word kennel. And they knew that, you know, so like kennels, like let's say Chico Lopez's bagman, for instance. So they'll try to say their kennel. They take the name of Carver. They take the name of some famous dogman, and they call themselves this kennel. It's like kids play, you know. And the power of breeding is a power that brings a lot of responsibility, and a lot of things can happen when you have used this power. When you have used the power that nature has given you to breed an animal and understand that that animal, there'll be some consequences. They could be positive, they could be negative. In most cases, could be negative. When you have two animals and you breed them, there's going to be a birth date, and that date is going to have some animals. Those animals might be not as great as the dogs you use in the back. You might be doing the wrong combination. You might be doing a disservice to the breed. Your knowledge might be so weak that you might just be creating a disaster because you don't understand making things worse. You might be part of the problem. You might be creating something that is terrible for that, and then you make 5, 7, 8 puppies and you sell them or give them away to people that also will want to do the same thing as you're doing, and that thing that you're doing, that they're doing as well, will create the same thing going forward.
Thousands and thousands of dogs.
Thousands and thousands of dogs that are worse from the original dogs, and that's how the bully was created, a complete deformation of the original American Pitbull Terrier. And when the bully started, for instance, started with the worst. They didn't take the very best American Pitbull Terriers to start creating, when they created the bully. They took the very worst of it. And the people that started breeding the bullies were people that didn't know crap about the American Pitbull Terriers. In other words, they didn't have a presence within the American Pitbull Terrier breed to be somebody special.
Do you know what is the worst of the bullies? Because every new breed that the creators create, they have a purpose to serve the man. They are working dogs, for instance, Malinois or German Shepherd. They have a purpose.
They have a purpose.
The bullies have no purpose.
No purpose. Some guy wrote me a message. He says, well, Chico, your dog is too good, too powerful, but for me, that I just want a companion dog, I would want to have like a bully or a mixed breed dog, like something like that. I said, my friend, listen, you really don't know. You never had an experience with one of my dogs. My dogs is like the best pet you can ever have. Not only because of the loyalty, not only because of the smartness, because these dogs can be very soft and very loving, depending on how you raise them. So if you raise them to be very loving, I mean, you can look at Nala, for instance, in New Jersey. That's a perfect example. You raise her to be very loving. Yes, some dogs and some combinations might be very high strung, but I can usually tell in the leader.
My friend, if you walk Nala in the street, you do not recognize Nala.
For real?
Yeah. I have the pleasure to walk Nala, and she pulls like a grand champion.
She pulls like a grand champion.
I love it because inside
but
the
in the house, she's very calm.
Calm, and everything is okay, perfect. And outside, a monster. And I told, oh my God, this dog, I really love to walk her.
But this is exactly what I was just saying. I was saying, some people, they have this image that the dog can only be like wild and crazy, and they don't understand that these dogs actually were bred at the beginning. Part of the selection was that they had to be great with humans, and they had to be great in the house. Look at this guy. Bagman is a savage, okay? He'll break things around the house, but also maybe they can jump on top of the sofa and watch television with me, and so on and so forth. So the thing about it is, the greatest dog experience, you can only have it if you start from the very beginning with the greatest dogs. You can't really have, something great coming out of trash.
My friend, but this is a person that all his life ate McDonald's, and then they never had a chance to go and eat the very best
finest steak. Finest steak.
For him, his limitation of knowledge, he say, "Oh, the McDonald's are the best because he never tasted a great steak."
Never tasted a great steak. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct, and that's.
So
that's
let me ask you right now.
Yeah.
So today, a person develop interested to have the best of the real pit bull. What is the path that this person have to walk to have the best? Tell me. It's like an instruction to the new guy that is going to buy American Pitbull today.
My friend, I'm going to put myself in that position, okay? Because I can't speak on somebody else's buying process. I can only tell you about my buying process. My buying process in 1983 was to buy the best of the best. And I had this intuition inside me that told me this guy in the neighborhood is not the best, the guy is not the best, the guy is not the best. And I study who is the best. And when I find out who were the best men, I found one thing in common. None of them were greater than the next one. They all had one great dog and many mediocre dogs. And it's still, it was very consistent within every single bloodline. Every bloodline had a great member and many, many mediocre dogs and many, many, many poor dogs and many, many really trash dogs. And they all share one thing in common. That was the pedigree and that was the bloodline. So you had one captain dog and you have many, many dogs that were mediocre. And so this meant that didn't have consistency. So what I did is I got a best dog from this guy, the best dogs from that guy, and I looked at the dogs and then I started looking at the combinations. But then it became more difficult.
Your own recipe.
I make my own recipe, but it became difficult at one point. Because I was looking for family. Look, whenever you have a dog and a father and a mother, the most important thing to have the dogs is going to be the man that did the breeding. That's why, you know, you're walking on, I'm going to buy a dog from this guy. You know, a lot of people don't pay attention to the quality of the animal based on the importance of the breeder, the importance of the man. Some people do. And those that do, in all breeds, whether you have a bird dog, whether you have a hunting dog, whether you have an American Pit Bull Terrier, you have a Shepherd, those people usually look for the best. And in humanity in general, you're not going to have everybody looking for the best. You understand? But when you open a website, the first people they're going to flock are the ones that want to get the cheapest, but they still want to have a little bit of the best. When they find out, they get upset. Like, I want to get that dog. You know, they say, oh, but that's just a dog.
That's why I told you, and this is we are going to develop in another video. Sometimes you don't know why you want the best. Let me just explain to you. Flour, eggs, and salt are very common. But flour, eggs,
salt, water, sugar are common. You find them everywhere.
Are common. But the guy that make the best pizza is the man that know how to do the recipe.
Bravo. It's a very good sample. I can buy very cheap pizza from Domino and from Pizza Hut. And there is the humanity in general in America, they love Pizza Hut and they love Domino's and Papa John's. If they really knew that those pizzas were really crappy quality compared to the best pizzas around the world, you know, you go to Miami, for instance, right? What's the name of the?
Bonacello.
Bonacello.
No, Munacello.
Munacello. You go to Miami, you go to Munacello. And you eat, what was the one that I ate the last time? It wasn't Cuatro Quesos, it was a different one. I forgot. It was not the margarita. I always like the margarita, but it was a recommendation by David.
Burrata.
No, it wasn't the Murata. Burrata?
Stracciatella.
Stracciatella. I ate the stracciatella, I was like, oh my God. You know, and you look at the quality, but a guy that always ate Domino's and always ate Papa John's and ate Pizza Hut, by the time he goes into that pizza, his taste is completely ruined.
But
he's ruined.
Our videos and our dogs and our mentality is for a person that
looks for the best.
Is willing to study, know how to see the details, and understand that flour, water, eggs, salt, and sugar are common in every place. But the men that know how to do it the best pizza.
I love this sample that you just came up with. Flour, salt, eggs, water
and
sugar are common everywhere.
Yeah.
And then tomato sauce also is common everywhere. But now let's dig into that a little deeper. So, because I like this. Now we're coming into my section, which is breeding. All right.
Okay.
So, are all eggs the same? Maybe so. No.
Remember that I told you.
Yeah. No, that's what makes it different. But the flour also could be huge difference between the flour you buy in the supermarkets and this place, that place. Some of the flour that's made in Italy and stuff like that. There are some people that just eat common stuff, but the people that want the very best, they will understand that ingredients are important. I give you a perfect example. Everybody like, oh my God, Chico got the semen on May Day and got the statue on May Day in his living room right over here, and he got the ring for May Day and blah blah blah. Listen, they got a Barracuda dog, 100-time Barracuda. I don't want him. 100-time May Day, I don't want him. Lucane dog, I don't want him. I only care from May Day about one single combination. One only. Okay? The other ones might be good, some of them. And many of them might be mediocre. and a lot of them will be really bad. The ones that I really care is Mayday Blondie, one dog. It's called Macho Wantan Winner. And his best son is Awesome Buck. And by definition, I was correct. Awesome Buck is the center of my universe when it comes to dogs. You know, you love Mechanic Buck, boom, he's an Awesome Buck dog. You love the Bagman, he's an Awesome Buck dog. You like Copper Day, he's an Awesome Buck dog. You like Masakwata, the amazing dog, he comes from Awesome Buck. All these dogs, you know, in the second plate, I also like the brother from a different litter, which is Demian. And Demian produced very good dogs, very good bases. I give you a perfect example. You got Deadly Speed, which came directly of Demian, and that combination back into a grandson of Awesome Buck like Mechanic Buck produced the great Atos. Atos is great.
But there's also
all great elements.
Yeah, but it's also, that's why the man behind this operation is so important. You don't go to
one man behind all the operations.
You don't go to Monticello and eat the best pizza and later on you say, oh, I want to go and make this dough in my house.
No, you can't do it.
You go again and go again.
Not only that.
And you trust the man.
I'm going to give you a perfect example. Right here in Brasilia, you had the guy, what's his name? In Nippon, restaurant, Nippon. ¿Cómo lo llamas? How you call the guy?
Which guy?
El hombre que trabaja con los peces.
Sushi man.
The sushi man. You always walk inside and you always ask, who's going to be the sushi man today?
Yes.
The sushi man is very important. You might have the same sushi, but the preparation of the sushi is different. When it comes to genetics, it's very complex because you really got to look at a dog and observe this dog for a long time. Observe him. You need to watch his dog for a long time. And that's what it takes. It's very difficult.
You know, for me, it's very simple. If I walk today and I want to buy the best American Pit Bull Terrier, I will never have the mentality to say, oh, I want to make the next Mayday, or I want to make the next Jeep. Some people say this to me and I say, my friend, go and try to create another will. You understand? Because people, they don't want to enjoy the final product. They want...
You know, if I want to have dogs in the world, I want to have Awesome Buck dogs. I wouldn't care about any other dog. Awesome Buck dogs. And it comes from the Golden Vein. You know, those members of the Golden Vein, each one of them have value. Whether it's Yellow John, whether it's Grand Champion Yellow. You know, but then the best creation of Grand Champion Yellow is who? Mayday. The best creation of Yellow John. Grand Champion Yellow. The best creation of Yellow, Mayday. The best creation of Mayday, Macho Wantan Winner. The best creation of Macho Wantan Winner, Awesome Buck. And Awesome Buck has a few creations that are very great. You see, it's like an umbrella that open up. I want to give you this sample here. It's like an umbrella. You know, an umbrella that's closed and open up like this. Look at this. Like this, and you open up, and you're coming in from the past. And you have Yellow John. And he had Yellow. And Yellow had an umbrella. But there was one dog that was really like super outstanding in production and everything, and it was Mayday. And then you have, from Mayday, you have thousands of dogs. You have some of them that were better, blah, 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 but Macho Wantan Winner was the very best by a long shot. Said by who? By me. Why? I saw Barracuda, I saw 600, I saw the Licardo, I saw all these dogs, and he was the best one in every way possible. That's why I bred to him instead of breeding to Barracuda for free. And so we got Macho Wantan Winner. But once Macho Wantan Winner was bred, he produced Awesome Buck. But watch how Awesome Buck, in 1 litter, become a rum dog. Global Grand Champion, Global Grand Champion, Global Champion. He opened up, look at this, like an umbrella. Boom! Of all grayness. Every one of the arms that came out of this umbrella had grayness. And each one of these females...
But there is a detail. You knew how to select those dogs inside the family. And I dare to say, I don't want to have any dogs from no dogs, no Jeep, there is not coming from you.
I will not take, listen to me, Mechanic Buck, better than any Jeep dog in the world. Better than any Jeep dog in the world. And it's very simple. He became a rum dog in 2 breedings. You understand? He was a monster himself and a loving dog. There's videos of him playing with kids. He met this little girl in a contest. When we did the Brasilia show, ADBA show, we did it in Taguatinga. And this lady came from Rio de Janeiro with the baby. He was playing with them. And then he's playing with you in the churrasquera right here. And we're doing all these beautiful things with him.
And then we want him to hunt.
And we went into him and he completely destroyed every hog. And then after destroying every hog, he comes home and he's just playing. But I'm going to tell you, then production-wise, why he has that mechanic Jeep Honey Bunch blood that didn't work with anybody else. But I put the sparkles like a scientist of Awesome Buck. I put the Awesome Buck sparkles and all of a sudden he is the prime best Honey Bunch dog. Only because the sparkles of Awesome Buck. Once you take Awesome Buck out of the equation, it's a common Jeep dog. Common like anything else. A common Honey Bunch dog. And then he himself, I bred him to females that I knew I wanted to breed him. And I said, I'm going to breed him to this female. I'm going to breed to this female. Boom! A rum dog. You see what I'm saying? So it's so amazing. And I can continue. And I can continue and breed him, continue going forward and be breeding him. Wow, we're 31 minutes. And breeding him to even greater dogs and making. So why would I want to go to Jeep? Why would I want to go to the past? Do you know Jeep had over hundreds of thousands of people having Jeep dogs around the world because 20 times Jeep, 50 times Jeep, but no, we don't need that. Let me tell you something.
Handful. Some people say, oh, Chico, how do you know mechanic is best? Remember the time that I give the idea and we buy 8 puppies.
It was your idea.
The mechanic family, and
in California.
I was in shock that the dogs were
I challenge you.
completely different. And
let me put this so these guys can understand. They had a semen from mechanic and some breedings from Ricky Raganella, which is where the mechanic blood came from. And these guys took that blood without my Awesome Buck blood, and they bred them. All the dogs from Ricky Raganella, all of them. And they created these dogs that were like 50% honey bunch, 62% honey bunch. And you say, I want to try that, see maybe that's good. Buy 6 or 7, 8 puppies, something like that. Bring them, raise them. By the time they're 6 months old, I say, look at the difference between these dogs that got Awesome Buck and this piece of crap that don't have Awesome Buck. And they grew up to be, and they got a fair chance, and they were completely garbage. They had a nice pedigree, ram, all garbage. The breeding is difficult. Breeding is difficult. And that's why people should not even attempt to breed dogs, because they don't have the science, they don't have the eye, they don't have... In the investment of breeding is something really, really complex.
Sometimes people are so common when they see things, you know? It's not about being common. When you want things that go extraordinary, you have to be very detail-oriented and have
very
knowledge.
Detail-oriented. Of course, you gotta have some knowledge and stuff like that. Today, this video is already 33 minutes, so we'll cut it right here and we'll make another video in a little bit.
Yes.
We'll take a little break, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you watched the whole video, leave me a message below saying I watched the whole video, and tell me a little bit about how you feel and how you like the page, and if you shared the video. God bless you. My name is Chico Lopez. Take care. Bye-bye.